recently, as a group, wrote a policy memo discussing the benefits of safe consumption facilities to help combat the opioid crisis. And we entered it into a national competition, and we ended up winning. Here's the memo. It looks beautiful. And we wanted to come down here and share the knowledge that we gained through writing this memo and our policy solutions with our members of Congress in the hopes that we could get some laws changed and hopefully do some good for our local community.
We just finished up with Guy Ruskenthaler, which I think is how you say his name.
And it was terrifying beforehand and somehow afterhand as well.
One little error, we forgot to mention veterans, which he really is into veterans affairs, and we totally forgot.
But during the meeting, everything felt very natural. I think we all did an excellent job. Jake did a wonderful job summarizing the memo.
Erin was really impactful with her Medicaid and Medicare statistics about hepatitis C costs and how a safe consumption facility could really mitigate those. And so I think we hit most of the key points and it went okay.
So we just had our meeting in Elizabeth Warren's office, and her staffer was super responsive. He was really interested, even though obviously they don't work in Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania. The opioid epidemic has hit Massachusetts, and so he was really curious about all the statistics that we were providing. He asked for follow-up, he asked for the other references that we had.
He was very receptive to everything that we were saying. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback with regards to the things that we've been saying. It seems like there's a lot of engagement on this issue because the opioid crisis is so big.
We're really starting to hit our stride and kind of work off of each other.
We are advocating for a policy solution that is tenable, easy to do, and doesn't require a lot of any taxpayer dollars.
They're starting to hear us and respond positively. So I'm excited for the last couple meetings of the day and hope we continue on this trajectory.
Okay, so we just finished our first lobby day. Everybody's feeling pretty good. We're definitely very tired.
All of the meetings suddenly got confirmed like a day or less than a day ahead of time. Some of them honestly never got confirmed, and we just showed up at a time that we could be there and they made it work. Not recommended, but it worked out this one time.
So it's been a whole week since I've been with this group. It was kind of shocking coming down here. It was absolutely terrifying. I would say the first couple to few meetings, I kind of had this low-grade feeling of needing to vomit just from pure anxiety. But as the day went on, it became more comfortable. Talking to people was surprisingly comfortable. Like, they're normal people. Colloquialism to some extent is okay, and it turns out I actually know what I'm talking about. I think that imposter syndrome is all too real, and as scientists we experience it a lot, but it turns out we know a lot of stuff.
Towards the beginning of some of the meetings, people weren't that excited to hear that we had like long form memos of what we were presenting, but then towards the end everybody was like, yeah, like please send me that extra information. I'm very interested in hearing about this. The second thing was we would usually be talking for a little bit, and then a flip would switch in people's heads and they'd be like, who else are you talking to about this? So whenever that happened, it seemed like we had kind of come to a breakthrough point where they wanted to know who else was involved on this so they could interface with them and maybe get something done.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting and cool. I think sometimes we forgot a few of the points we wanted to hit for individual Congress people, but for the most part, the conversations went really well. Most people were really receptive to what we had to say, or at least they acted receptive.
I went into that last meeting with an actual congressman, Brad Schneider, and I had zero fears.
I wanted to give people the opportunity to see what things are like from the inside, to gain experience with advocacy, to feel comfortable meeting with legislators, meeting with their staff, talking about these policy issues. Especially as scientists, we don't get any kind of training in this sort of thing, and it's really important because in so many fields we are the experts. We know what the data shows, and we need to be comfortable sharing it with the people who are making policies that are going to be affecting a lot of Americans.
His staffer seemed especially interested and wanted to get other people that she knows involved in discussing our proposal, and was really happy to have information about safe injection sites, safe consumption facilities, which I was kind of surprised that they didn't already have a lot of information about. So it seemed like people were pretty surprised by some of the stuff we brought up and some of the things that we addressed that they hadn't really thought of. So I think we made some positive impact, even if we don't necessarily like see a bill come onto the floor soon.
In terms of being the organizer of the event, I think it went completely perfect.
This was great. Definitely recommend doing it. We hope to push forward with this in the future. Definitely going to reach out to the people we spoke to, send them more information. When our policy memo eventually gets published, we're going to go out and send them a link.
It was a really great day. I learned so much. I lobbied Congress today. Question mark.